Let's talk about sex for the men. The, this is this is the divine feminine perspective, but it's of men. So you get to say, because if you're a man, you get to say, "Hey, I don't agree with that," or "I do agree with that. I do want to experience that. I do want sex to be like that." Or "No, I don't want sex to be like that. That's not my experience. I don't want that to be my experience." Erotic innocence in the masculine, that's what we call it from the perspective of the divine feminine, it's called erotic innocence. So erotic innocence in the masculine is the pure, unshamed, unguarded life force that wants to connect, create, protect, express desire without fear, hold presence, love deeply, be seen in vulnerability. Enter life with integrity and strength. It is their divine masculine life force, not performative sexuality. And it is extremely fragile in a culture that tells men to disconnect from emotion, softness, tenderness, and desire that isn't dominance. What do you think about that, men? Do you agree? Where erotic innocence gets blocked in men. There are 5 main blocks, all of which you can work with in your masculine-feminine integration and sovereignty model. That's what they're talking to me. That's what I do in my sovereignty model. Integrate the masculine and the feminine. Because if we can do it internally inside of us, we can have better relationships in the world. And that is what I've learned through failing as a marriage and family therapist. In all of my, I didn't fail really. I was a great marriage and family therapist. It just didn't help me in my own marriage. So I learned after I left that behind. Shame around desire. Men are taught from an early age that their desire is too much, dangerous, inappropriate, embarrassing, only sexual, something to control or hide. Do you agree with that, men? What do you think? This makes them disconnect from healthy desire, suppress emotional longing, equate erotic energy with only sex, swing between over-control and impulsivity. Healthy masculine desire becomes shame-coded. What do you think? Is that true for you? Emotional disconnection is the biggest block. Most men are taught to not cry, not need, not feel, not be soft, and not be vulnerable. This cuts them off from the receptive side of erotic innocence, the ability to be moved, to be touched emotionally, surrender, feel pleasure in presence, experience intimacy beyond performance. Without emotional access, erotic innocence dries up. It becomes mechanical, not relational, performative, not embodied. What do you think about that? I'm also interested in the different generational perspectives, like the Generation X, Gen Z, the millennials, if there are different perspectives, because we have different learning experiences about sex. So I'm interested in like what generation you come from and your perspective. So please share if you feel called to. Hyper-performance masculinity. Men are told their worth comes from strength, dominance, control, achievement, sexual performance. This creates a split. The masculine energy is armored. The erotic energy becomes disconnected from heart and intuition. Erotic innocence cannot live under pressure to perform. It only thrives in presence and connection. Fear of vulnerability. To be erotically innocent, a man must be able to soften, feel, express longing, receive love, be emotionally naked. But men learn early that vulnerability equals weakness equals danger. And we women have some responsibility in that too. I encourage you not to take full responsibility, women. But if you're being, there's I learned this in marriage and family therapy. There's a book called How to Improve Your Marriage Without Talking About It or something. It's by Stephen Stosny and Patricia Love. I might have the title wrong, but those are the authors. And they say that the worst thing you can do to a man is criticize or shame him. And the worst thing you can do to a woman is leave her alone. So these cycles between us as men and women reinforce this negative interaction between us. So we need to break these cycles. If we want our men to be, well, I'm talking to women now, sorry. If we want our men to be vulnerable and soft at times, which we do, but we also want them to do it in a masculine way, which you can when you really integrate it, you can. I don't know, I'm speaking for myself, maybe not every woman is like that. But we have to not criticize. We have to be open to that. We have to be appreciative of that. And we have to honor that as women. So instead, they shut down emotionally, numb, avoid intimacy, confuse sex with closeness, feel unworthy of being loved outside of performance. Erotic innocence collapses under this fear. Early wounds with mother or feminine figures. This is where my family constellation work shines. I facilitate family constellations to heal these intergenerational patterns. A man's erotic innocence often gets blocked when his mother was overwhelmed and made him her emotional partner. His mother was unavailable or unpredictable. He had to rescue, protect, or care for her. He learned love equals responsibility, not joy. He absorbed her fear, shame, or resentment. He was taught women can't be trusted. This leads to overgiving, avoiding intimacy, fear of being engulfed, resentment toward feminine need, confusion around erotic energy, and a split between sexual and safe women. I mean, that's even like passed down in religious cultures. Their erotic innocence becomes tangled in survival patterns, in early survival patterns. What blocked erotic innocence looks like in men. I'm just going to pause here because I noticed that with women, with the women video, I asked, what's coming up for you? Acknowledge it. Place a hand wherever you're feeling it. Validate it and care for it. And I didn't do that with you. It's so ingrained in us to not nurture the masculine, and you need nurturance too. And I'm sorry that I didn't do that. So I'm going to do it again for you now. What comes up for you as I share these ideas with you? What feelings or sensations are coming up in your body? Breathe into it. Place a hand there. Acknowledge it. You can say, I feel you however you feel. I feel you anxious. I feel you sad. I feel you heavy. I say you because I'm externalizing like and thinking about the inner child and externalizing that to create a little bit of emotional distance so it doesn't become overwhelming. And then validate it if you can. You don't need to if you don't know where it's coming from. You can just acknowledge, and that's enough. And then care for it. What do you need to care for it? Do you need to do something physical? Do you need to create a boundary? Do you need to express something to somebody? Do you need to just sit with it and hold it? Hold that part of you. Okay, I'm going to continue reading. What blocked erotic innocence looks like in men. I've seen these patterns in my clients' relationships and couples work. Blocked erotic innocence shows up as numbness or shutdown, withdrawal, walking away, gaslighting, difficulty expressing desires, performing instead of connecting, fear of emotional intimacy, fear of being seen, over responsibility, anger that hides longing. I've seen that one a lot too. Anxiety about disappointing others, confusion about boundaries, using sex to connect because it's allowed. And women are looking for emotional connection, and men find it through sexual connection a lot of the time, because that feels like the only safe place where it's allowed. Or avoiding sex because it feels vulnerable. Men often want deep connection, but have no roadmap to access it. Restoring erotic innocence in the masculine. This is where my work is really powerful, and I will work with men too. Safety. Men restore erotic innocence through safety, compassion, emotional education, somatic grounding, reconnecting to their intuition, understanding contraction and expansion. That's the Peter Levine model for healing trauma. Reparenting inner parts. I was trained in internal family systems, and so I use some of those. I use meditation to access that. Lifting shame from desire. Reclaiming your heart. Integrating your inner feminine. When a man reconnects to his erotic innocence, he becomes present, grounded, emotionally attuned, deeply connected, spiritually alive, capable of intimacy beyond sex, capable of loving without losing himself. He becomes the sovereign masculine, not armored, not performative, but embodied. So, tell me what you think about that. Can you relate? How would you like it to be? Does that appeal to you, that new model for sexuality? Is there anything that you find missing as a man? Thanks.